It's a pleasant morning to my subscribers. Very energetic and very early in the morning. I woke up that early in order for me to have another videos because I have not able to update you guys this past week because I was so busy with other things. I have complied for, as a classroom teacher, I really have to comply for the grades of the student because we had our card giving just last Saturday, and I have able to complete, and I have able to uh, give all the grade sheets and the grades of my students. So that's a big accomplishment for this first quarter. So we are going to continue now our topic on the chapter one of our research. Writing your thesis and dissertation qualitatively, so you don't have to fear no more. Okay, so we have able to discuss the chapter one about read me first about knowing ourselves. So this time around I will be dealing on some facts. Okay, some facts that somehow would help us on realizing that maybe this problem or facts are being experienced by all of us, okay, all over the world. Okay, so here I will read again the I would read again the book which I have bought from one of our lecturers during the seminar on writing your thesis and dissertation, Dr. Safari Mabaleka. Okay, my good friend also. Okay, so the first one is you will be surprised to know several things that you thought were particular to you. A lot of people are struggling with thesis or dissertation just like me, or just like you. I too struggle with my thesis and my two dissertation. When you know that you are not alone, I believe you will start gathering more personal motivation to continue your thesis or dissertation writing. So stay with me here. Let's explore things that you may relate to very well, and that will simply help you understand that you are a regular person and everyone else is just like you. Okay, there's no person has a highest and the lowest when it comes to creation. Okay, we are just different on the way how we look up things, the way how we manage ourselves, the way how we value or motivate ourselves. Okay, the way we visualize our future. So that those are the things that I think we are different. Okay, but as human beings, as creators, or as creatures of God, we are just the same. From speaking at several training sessions with hundreds of masters and doctoral students, I've come to realize that most students are struggling in their writing journey. When you decide to do the qualitative research, the challenge is even greater, given that it's new at your college or university and you have access to a limited number of qualitative experts. Rather than seeing this as a challenge, it's good to look at it as an opportunity just to give you a few facts. So the author himself is urging us that and citing the idea that maybe there's a lot of universities and schools who are not really that master on qualitative researching, right? Because we are very we know and we were introduced to have a quantitative type of research, okay, basically. But the author himself is really trying to convince us to use qualitative research. Okay, letter A, number one, letter A fact. Okay, that 7% of people are believed to be all but dissertations, ABDs, forever in the USA. Okay, so 70% of the people are believed to be all but dissertations or ABD forever in the USA. So imagine how many thousands of people those are. People go on to finish their doctoral coursework, but only about 30% make it to the finish line and graduate with their doctorate. So this is scary indeed. It means of 1,000 doctoral students who finish their coursework, only 300 of them graduate. So 700 never get to the cold doctor, simply because they couldn't either write or finish their dissertation. This is why people are scared of the writing process. So as we will see, however, this journey has been sophisticated or mystified simply by the lack of some practical writing strategies that anyone can learn very easily. It is my intention to present these practical tips to you throughout this book. Yes, I believe also to the author that, even not in America or just here in the Philippines or in my university particularly, actually, I have a lot of classmates before, but they just ended up taking the comprehensive exam, and afterwards they do not pursue for thesis writing because they believe it's really hard for them. Okay, so that's why I am encouraging my former classmates to really push through on writing, because you know if you really wanted to gain something or really wanted to become successful on that particular endeavor, which is to become a master or a doctoral degree holder, you really have to work hard for it. Okay, work hard in the sense that for you to prepare your dissertation or thesis writing, it is easier than you have expected. Okay. Letter B, facts. Most people are scared of writing their thesis or dissertation, and that is very true. Yes, most of us, or especially even the professionals, even those who are regular employees, okay, those who are perennial teachers already or perennial employees, they really have this fear of, writing their thesis or dissertation. That's why they would just ended up, as I said earlier, they would just ended up on their comprehensive exam. So once they are being promoted, then they stop it. Okay, then they stop on that particular stage or level of their journey. Okay, the purpose of this book is to help you avoid being in that number, or at least to help lower that fear. I too went through this process a number of times. I was scared just like you, especially the first time that I wrote my thesis and my first dissertation. As I did this over and over again, I learned practical strategies that I feel can help anyone in the writing process to avoid the hassle and enjoy a very good thesis dissertation writing journey. Yes, admit it or not, we have this fear of, writing in the writing process, diba? Actually, on the speaking process, we also have that fear because, stage fright is really normal. However, we really have to overcome it to become, to attain or to gain something, okay? Or to accomplish something. We really have to move forward in you really have to take action, okay, to accomplish something. Because if you will just, sit down and do not do anything, okay, so then there's no thing that we can call accomplish, or you did not accomplish your goal or your objective. So you just stop. Okay, so when you stop, there's no learning at all because you stop. It's your choice to stop. But for now, I am giving you some facts that could probably help us regain our confidence in writing. Okay, facts letter C is thesis or writing is like running a marathon. We must be prepared. Yes, because it's a long process. Okay, if you're enrolled for thesis writing or dissertation, it takes about 6 months or a year of doing it. So it's a long journey or process. So you have to be very prepared. I teach academic writing, research methods, and qualitative research courses at graduate level. I used to believe that these courses fully prepare my student in thesis and dissertation writing. It is not until I started looking for critical at the struggle of my thesis and dissertation writing student that I discovered that these courses do not fully prepare a student for thesis or dissertation writing. Yes, I also believe that because, admit it or not, only 25% of the skill, the strategies, the information, okay, of our teachers has been absorbed by us. On the level of the student, it's just only 25% that is being retained from our professors, from our instructors, okay? However, the 70% rely on you, okay? It would rely on your capability or ability to really learn by yourself, okay? So with the proper guidance, of course, of your advisors or people who really are experts of doing dissertation or thesis writing. Now, the preparation plan is not well fit for the marathon involved in thesis or dissertation writing. The good news is that this book's complementary to you, that to what you learn in your research courses. With it, you will be much better prepared and will run effectively and win the race of the thesis or dissertation writing. Yes, the author himself is really optimistic, and very positive, for believing to those who are really pursuing their journey on writing thesis or dissertation. And it's really nice to know that there are these people who really wanted to encourage everyone to do the best thing that we can do in the easiest and more comfortable way. Okay, so fact number 4, or letter D: many research courses don't prepare students well for their thesis or dissertation writing journey. Yes, I believe so, because there are courses that they actually there are courses which are uh, thesis free options. There is an option that non-thesis, rather, okay, non-thesis uh master courses. Okay, so that's making students become lazy, of disregarding the core values or the core point of having the course or getting master's degree or doctoral degree. Okay, because the main core of getting that course is to write something which is really important and valuable, and could be of great help to augment and to really help, okay, to whatever problem you're going to answer or to find solution with. Okay, that would eventually help uh, the students, the learners, okay, the teachers, the administrators, the community, and of course the country in the whole as a whole. Okay, so looking at different course description in different colleges and university, the trend is the same. Research courses are way too theoretical and less practical, and I believe so. They're more on the theory, not on the application or the practicality of life. Okay, theory is very important because it's the basis of doing something. It is being proven, it is scientifically proven, and it is already published and it's already been adopted. However, the problem is it is not being put on a practical situation. Okay, the application of the theory is less, but the mastery of the theory, memorizing it, everything word by word, is or could be or can be adapted by a student. However, the application, there is a very less possibility to perform or to do it practically. So that's very sad. Okay, students are drilled with so many academic writing and research courses to equip them with technical knowledge to conduct research. Little, however, is thought about the practical aspect of thesis or dissertation writing. Even worse, little practice, if any, is done as part of the research courses. Many times, students take research courses and are not required to actually design and conduct research as part of those courses. I've decided to be different on this one. If you take a research course from me, expect to design and conduct an actual research study. As a result, I have seen a number of my students, both of the master's and doctoral levels, publish some research paper before they graduate. And that's really my aim also. I really wanted to graduate with my master's degree of doing my thesis, okay, of doing my thesis paper or thesis research or thesis writing very sophisticated, very motivated, and a very effective one, because I believe um, I have to publish my work because I believe it would help. Okay, and I am so optimistic and positive that I can do it through the help of this book by Dr. Wama Baleka, and it's very nice to realize. Okay, so I am really motivated now to really do writing, do researching, okay, and many more writing. Okay, so next, Fact letter E, thesis and dissertation writing preparation is really lacking. Yes, the word lacking there is really a matter. Okay, it's a big thing. Taking research courses without actually designing and conducting research is like preparing for a marathon, and all you do is to eat well without actually physically practicing. Yes, we just fool our tummy, and then the skill of running, swimming, and walking, you have not gone practicing any skill. That's why you end up failing, and you end up losing the race. Okay, now, uh-huh, although you will be well fit with your diet, you will struggle to win the race during the marathon. Diet and physical training must be paired in preparation for the marathon. So technical knowledge through academic writing and research courses must be coupled with practical guidelines to make thesis or dissertation writing much more practical. Yes. Compared with what it takes to write a thesis or dissertation, the preparation received in research courses is minimal. This book helps cover that gap in your academic knowledge. Yes, it is very true that the preparation received by the research courses is minimal. Is really minimal. It's just very limited. The thing that we really have to do as a researcher, we really have to exert the 75% of it. Okay, the actual and the practical doing of your research. The 25% has been inputted to us. The skill, the knowledge has been inputted or given to us by our research teachers or instructors or professors. The 75% is relying on us, okay, and how we do it practically. Okay, applying all the skills, the necessary conceptualizing and designing your own concept of the study and research design. You really have to decide what is the design of your study. Okay, so we have letter F. Dissertation or thesis writing is your highest academic writing task. Always remember that if you finish writing your thesis, you will end up being a master's degree holder. So, if you finish your dissertation as the highest academic writing in a doctoral degree course, then you will end up being called as a doctor or doctor of philosophy or the DR. Okay, the DR, the doctor. Okay, so one of the reasons why this journey is difficult is that it is your highest academic writing task. Your committee members want you to produce a document with the highest quality. During your coursework, they knew that you had little time to complete your assignment in one term or semester. So they were willing to accept work that was not your very best. With thesis or dissertation, however, everything changes. Your committee members know that you have no clear deadline. They can demand with quality for you and require you to reach that standard before allowing you to defend and graduate. They know that you have no other choice but to comply with the expectation. They know that this work is very important, so they will most likely push you harder than you have ever been pushed during your coursework. To make that matter worse, the research courses that you took may have not fully prepared you for what you are about to do. It's a good thing you've done to get a copy of this book and read it. Yes, very important. It's very really helpful for me because I have this book now. Okay, writing your thesis or dissertation qualitatively, fear no more, and that's very important. It really echoing on my mind that you have to fear no more on writing, because this book really helped me to become more confident and more practical in writing my thesis. Okay, now letter G. The names of your committee members are put on a permanent record in your thesis or dissertation. This is the good news for them, but maybe some challenging news to you. Well, your thesis or dissertation will eventually become a permanent record when you bind it. On one of the preliminary pages, you must write the names of your committee members in most colleges or universities. No scholar wants his or her name to be put on a document that will be displayed in public. unless that document is really good. This is one of the reasons why your committee members push you harder than usual. Yes, because they don't want to be published. They don't want that their names appeared on the publications or in the book or a thesis or a dissertation binded work without even believing that their names will be put there with an excellent output of your thesis or dissertation, because it's very important, because they are going to affirm um, their signature. They had to, that's what they call it, they have to sign their document, and it will become a public property, so anyone could have an access to read it, to scrutinize it. So your committee members believe that your output is really excellent, and it's really good. Okay, so that's very important. Okay, so fact letter H, you must convince your committee and your colleagues in the field about your work. Yeah, I really had to convince other people. Okay, maybe some of them will just won't believe you that 100%, because okay, admit it or not, we're just human being. Many of us have this envious spirit. Once you are pushing yourself to the limit, and you're able to accomplish it, and somebody are not happy for you, admit it or not, because that's an attitude of a person that is really bad or evil. Okay, but don't just disregard them. You don't have to focus to them, because if you do, then you will not be moving. Okay, you cannot accomplish something. Okay, you will just rely on their comments. Okay, so you cannot move on. Okay, so I have here letter H. You must convince your committee and your colleagues in the field about your work. One of the reasons behind writing a thesis dissertation for you to become a scholar in your field. Yes, and it's for you to add to the knowledge base. It's for you to become some sort of expert. To do this, you need to understand your field well and be able to convince your committee and your colleagues that your contribution is invaluable to your field. This is what used to scare me very much when I first wrote a thesis. I felt like everything had been written. I believed that all of the problems in my field had no need for your new research. You may be feeling the same thing. You're not the only one. Most people share this very feeling. They simply don't share it with you. They do the same thing you've been doing. You've not shared this fear with anyone else, have you? So don't worry, you're not alone, and you're not the first to feel this way. Normally, this means that you still have to read a lot more than you have. You need to look behind the scenes of what people write. You need to take a critical look at what other scholars have written. Later in this book, you will learn how to do this successfully.